pan in and out, whatever that means. I think Scorsese does it. Anyway, I'm dressed for 7 o'clock this morning, and it's now noon. So instead of dressing for the Arctic, I should have dressed for Miami. Well, maybe not Miami. So I just want to talk very quickly about something that came up last night. It's actually a situation with my son. And sometimes we just try too hard. So I was involved. I talk a lot about getting ahead of the curve. I also talk a lot about there's no money in the energy business anymore, which there isn't. However, 20-something years ago, when deregulation started kicking in around the world, and I'm talking about deregulation specifically, I'm referring to utilities. Natural gas, electricity, telecoms, that type of stuff. Taking away from monopolies. Telling people you can have a choice. So one challenge with that, in the early days, was people would say, I don't know about this. Does the government know you're doing this? Because they were so indoctrinated in believing, and this is in supposedly free capitalist countries. Does the government know you're doing this? Well, I don't know. They're not spying on me right now. Well, maybe they are. So that was a challenge back then. This is sometimes what happens, or a lot of the time what happens when you get in ahead of the curve. And there's some great books on this by Malcolm Gladwell. The tipping point being one. So when you start anything new, sometimes you have to create illusions to gain a market. What do I mean by that? Well, nowadays you are probably used to having someone either call you up over the phone, knock on your door. Maybe you do it on the internet. That was another one that had to be sold to the public. You're probably used to this. And they talk about saving you money on your gas or your electricity or your phone or whatever it may be, your cable, your satellite, whatever, so much stuff now. But it's commonplace, so we understand it, and now we're looking for who's got the best package, the best deal, what suits me the best. In the early days, there was none of that. It was the first guy that got there, got the business. That's what happens when you're ahead of the curve. If you're the first guy, you get the business. So, in the very early days, you actually had to pay to save money. Oh, I'd never do that. I'm telling you right now, you would. Because thousands did. And this is how it all started in Canada. And the reason behind having to pay is, we'll take natural gas as an instance. There's no money in it till the gas starts flowing. You need huge pockets of cash to fund a sales force, unless you can make it self-funding. So by default, businesses there used to charge, I think it was $50 on the door. Someone would knock on your door, show you how to save money on your natural gas, and you'd give them $50. Oh, I'd never do that. You know what? Hundreds of thousands of people did. And then we took that to the UK. And we heard the same bullshit. Yeah, that might work in Canada. People are different there. Yes, because Canadians have 6 heads and 5 arms. People are people are people are people. Human nature is human nature. It makes no difference. So, even though all these marketing geniuses and CEOs that were running multi-billion pound international corporations said it couldn't be done, we just did it anyway. So in the early days, we'd knock on a door, and it was all brand new to the market. What's your bills like? Da 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 da. No one's ever yet told me, "Oh, my bills are too low." No one's ever said that to me. I wish I could pay more. Doesn't happen. So what's your bills like? All right, go grab one. We grab a bill. Okay, we can shave. I don't know what it was. I think it was about 20% back then in the UK for the gas and the electricity. And we basically, I'm trying to remember what it was, 20%, we'll say that, off your gas and electricity. This is coming soon. We're actually ahead of the market, ahead of the curve. We had everyone battling us, including the government and the media, telling people not to do it. We went ahead anyway. So ahead of the game, we said we'll charge you £3, that's about $5. We'll charge you £3 per year to shop around for you and get you better rates. And it's a 10-year agreement. Okay, that's great. Just fill out the paperwork, right? I just need you to cross my palm with silver. And inevitably, they would come and then just give £3 and say, no, it's a 10-year agreement. I'm not going to come back here every year for £3. So it's just a 30, thanks. And that was it. Oh, I'd never do that. You know what 53,000 and change people did in like months, in no time at all? Because they thought it was worth it. Then, my point here is this. Once the deal became free without the £30, by the way, everyone that paid the £30 got it back on their first, I think it was on their first bill. That was the deal we cut. But we couldn't tell them that when we got the 30 because we didn't know the deal was done. So, when it came to a free system, you would think, oh, I can get the same package but free. You would think logically that more people would join. Actually plummeted, less joined. Because when we're told something is free, we think, what's the catch? Sounds too good to be true. And that's just bullshit indoctrination you heard as you were growing up. Loads of free deals out there, more than ever now. You get free anything. Free anything. So, what happened is, business dropped because instead of charging it was free. Doesn't make sense, but that's the logic. Well, that's the results, not logic. And so we had to create something. So we turned it from there to telling people, you know, it's 20% off your bills, yada yada yada. It's a £30 program. However, to qualify for a £30 reduction, all I need is take a copy of your bill with me today. All of a sudden, business went right back up. So instead of saying it's free, take one, we're given a reason for it. But then business went absolutely insane. Here's the reality. When you try and sell something that's free, it backfires on you. It absolutely backfires on you. When you're trying to push someone into something that's free, or trying to sell something that's free, it backfires. When you give a reason it's free, excuse me, and the reason I'm doing this right now is my son is trying to sell something that's free. So if you're watching, buddy, wake up! So if it's free, however, give a reason. Why is it free? Well, it's free and it's online in the hope that if you like it, you'll go further with it and purchase something. And if you don't, it doesn't matter one way or another. My job is just to give you a free trial. And that's it. So there's lots of stuff like that. They give out free coffee, free cheese, free food, free samples, free, you know, that's how they get, what's it into stores now, you know, fragrances and creams. They give you the free sample. Why? It's what they used to call a puppy dog close in the last century. You know, you give someone a dog, they never want to give it back. So there's a reality. Anyway, from here in Fort Green Park, I gotta go. Filming is on. Take one.